Hello ladies and gents, Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for, I almost said Amara Negra, for Love and Hip Hop Miami Season 2, Episode 4, Nada Nada Empanada. The episode starts off with Amara Negra, and she's with Shay. Now, the problem is that, one, Amara is still having issues with Bobby. Bobby apparently blocked her on social media or something like that. But that's not what the important part is. Armada is going to go and get Shay and JoJo together so that they can have a grown, mature, woman-to-woman conversation regarding Pleasure P. Now, do we think that they're going to be able to have a grown, mature, woman-to-woman conversation with Pleasure P? Probably not. But it's okay, because we see Trina, she's doing this radio interview, but before we get all of that, Bobby's there, and Bobby wants to work. Bobby wants to be signed by his cousin. Trina feels like she just needs to make sure that Bobby is serious. She can't go and have him be a part of the label and then go ghost or go MIA or just be irresponsible. But Bobby looks serious. Bobby spent money on himself. His music, from what we've heard so far, sounds good. So I don't see, just give him a chance. I mean, come on. We're not talking about a big imprint deal or anything. Come on now. And now Bobby's unsure. He's a little confused and concerned. We see Young Hollywood. He's hanging out with, I think it was Baby Blue and Chaotic. With Pleasure P and Chaotic. It's this weird thing of how Amada was caught up with supposedly trying to hit up Pleasure P, but we know that wasn't anything. And also at the reunion when Young Hollywood talked about how Amada went to his house and she spent the night, but he finally confirms what we already figured / knew, was that nothing happened between the two of them. It was more so him just trying to be a little saucy, and it backfired. And so now he's trying to do his redemption tour because it sounds like he's having success career-wise, and he doesn't want to mess that up. Now we see Miami Tip. She goes and she hangs out with, Jessie Woo? With Jessie Woo. And Jessie Woo is discussing how she's getting back into music. She's working with these producers who's worked with some of the best in the industry, and how she wants to be taken seriously. She just wants to make sure that everything's done right. She's still having issues management-wise, but we're going to move on from that because Trina is talking. See how quickly I'm getting through this? Trina is talking with her crew. Apparently, Trina wants to do a sunglass line, and she's working with the person, I guess, in charge of that company or that enterprise, and she has a problem. Her assistant, the one that Bobby was having issues with last year, so clearly it wasn't really blown out of proportion. Clearly wasn't blown too much out of proportion. He's going, not Bobby, but her assistant is going around and using her name to do things, and he's not really working. So she's frustrated. He's actually trying to go and get his own fashion line deal. I'm not sure how or why, but whatever. I don't know him, so he could be popping out here in these streets. Anyway, Amada is hanging out with her mom and with JoJo, and Amada's mom, she wants a man. She wants a man. And I feel like Amada's trying to, stand in between, because that's her mom. She's an only child. That's her mom. She doesn't want her mom. She wants her mom to be happy. But I mean, let's face it, not too happy. What about her? I'm joking. But Amada and JoJo, they're having this conversation because Amada talked to Shay. Now, Amada made it seem like, if memory serves me right, did Amada downplay JoJo's relationship with Pleasure P? Or maybe it was as far as the timing of it. I'm not sure how that all worked. I'm not sure how that all panned out. What I do know for sure is Amada wants the two to link up, see what can be done, and just fix it, because her being in the middle of this is not good for her image. It's not good for her brand. It's not good for her mental. And we know how important the mental is with these artists. Now we see Bobby. Bobby's talking to Shay and Miami Tip, and Bobby's saying that he could possibly be a part of a new label from the ground up, be their premier artist, be their only artist. The problem with all of that is that Bobby could potentially work with Trina. Miami Tip feels like you need to work with something that's more sure. Trina's a legend. Trina has been in this game for, 20 years at this point? And you need to go with a person who will literally walk you into rooms and into opportunities. But I'm thinking that's not happening right now. What she's saying makes complete sense, but if this label has some money behind it, any money behind it, and they're willing to put it behind Bobby, take the shot. Just make sure you don't have to stay there for like 10 albums. Because I feel like at this point, Trina probably just wants Bobby to figure it out for himself, and she can go and love and support. She doesn't want to deal with the hassle. I honestly feel like that's what's really going on with Trina. But Empanada, she was invited to Young Hollywood's party because a song that he produced went platinum, and she's excited. That's a big accomplishment. He's been working, he said, for 10 years. I said, 10 years? But then again, it's 2019, so if he started in 2009, I could see that. But then I thought, wait, how old is he? But that's not the point. That's not the point. It doesn't matter. Empanada is talking to Chaotic and Pleasure P. Why? But Empanada finally gets to talk to Young Hollywood. He does apologize for making it sound like what happened at his house was something more than what it actually was, because some people foolishly believed it. I never believed it, and I thought it was goofy that a lot of people were like, well, I'm thinking, well, you know nothing. Well, you know nothing. So they're going to move on. Perfect. Great. Now we see Shay. Shay meets up with her friend. That's all they are. Her friend, what is it? Baby Blue Woo? You know who I'm talking about. We're just going to call him Blue. So Shay meets up with Blue, and Shay feels a certain way because Shay still has an issue with the residuals of Pleasure P, i.e. with JoJo. And Blue would love to be a part of some mess regarding Pleasure P. Would love to be Shay's wingman. Would love it. So that's what they're going to do. Now Trina has a meeting with Alvin. That's his name. How did his name just come? I know it started with an A, and it just came to my mind as soon as I saw him. Has a meeting with Alvin. Doesn't go too well. She fires him. She first of all, I'm not going to yell. She goes a mile a minute. Then she fires him because she feels like, what are you doing? Now, here's the thing. He's in everyone else's business, but he's not handling his. Well, he is handling his. He's handling his personal business, trying to pursue what's best for him. He's saying, people are telling him that he needs to watch out for number one. He needs to watch out for himself and build something for himself. I'm thinking, you're an assistant. What are you talking about? That's perfectly fine to have a side hustle, but you never mess up the main thing that's actually paying your bills for the side hustle that may not work. And again, who gave you this clothing deal? It doesn't make sense. So it made a lot more sense when apparently he was trying to work through the original Connect that Trina's trying to use for her own. So she fires him. Cool. Great. And I'm sure Bobby felt vindicated on some level. Oh, come on now. Sorry about that. Now we have Jesse Wu's in the studio with producers, with the well-known producers, Big D, and I'm not sure what the other man's name. I do apologize for that. Jesse Wu sang on the song. Sounded fine. She wants a song. She said, okay, so do I need to buy the record? He said, do you have $35,000? I said, in debt I do. Does that count? But no, not in cash, not in liquid. No. So she can't get the song. And she said, well, what if I can just work with you guys? They said that would work as long as you're willing to sign a exclusive deal where you're just singing on our stuff or working on our stuff, because we've gotten burned before in the past. So we can't just give you or gift you a song, especially if we feel like we can make some money off of it. Jesse Wu, just sing Just be the woman on the reference tracks for people. That is good money. See, we downplay these background stuff. That is good money. Especially when your goal is for them to leave your vocals on the track. That's where you make them. See, they're blocking their blessings. Now, Amada has her mother. She has this food truck, and it's cool. She made, empanadas, and it looked good. It looked good. We have Pleasure there. Pleasure's talking to Amada with JoJo, and Amada just wants to make sure that Pleasure is really in this thing with JoJo. He said, yeah, he is, of course. Why not? I'm thinking, okay, you say that now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shay comes in with Blue, and Pleasure was over it. But they weren't going to argue because the argument is really with Shay and JoJo. And they were arguing, and I was trying to listen and care, but I'm thinking they're not saying anything. Just calling each other hoes and, oh, you annoying, oh, you a bum, this and that. You stuck your nose into this when it didn't need to be that. So then JoJo does her usual. She threw like food at Shay, and I said, Shay can actually scrap. You don't want to do that, JoJo. You've been throwing food this entire time. I don't believe that you can scrap. Now, unfortunately for JoJo, Amada pointed something out. She said, now, why is Pleasure talking to Shay instead of consoling you? I said, well, because he doesn't really care about either of these situations. He just wants to feel vindicated. So he apologized to Shay, but he did it because he wanted to see if she was going to go and say, do you still love me? And Shay didn't say no. She didn't say yes, but she didn't say no. I'm thinking, okay, that's enough for me. That's enough. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I have a new channel. It's called Romie Reviews Asthma, or Romie Reviews ASMR, and I'd appreciate it if you were to go check it out, subscribe, support, do the whole shebang. I have a video up. I actually have another one in the works. I may do a role play this time. I'm trying to see if it'll be in bad taste depending on what I'm thinking of doing, or I may do another food and then a role play. I'll probably do both. I'm good. I can do both. Why not? Please like, comment, subscribe.